is secret number 3. While you're going through grieving, you may feel like you're going crazy, but you're not. But it may be the closest to crazy that you ever feel. There's a great deal that goes on in grieving that puts us out of our comfort zone and leaves us experiencing things we're not expecting, that we're not used to. We're not expecting to burst into tears at a business meeting. We're not expecting to be out in the car trying to go somewhere and having to pull over to try to recall where we're going. We're not used to being in a fog and not being able to remember things that we do every day. It makes us feel like we're losing it. And it's important to know that we're not losing it, we're grieving. And there's a great deal of comfort, people have told me, in finding that out. No one has all of the things that I'm going to mention to you that they go through, but no one has none of them either. So let me give you some examples. People will say to me that they just can't think straight, or that they just can't predict when their emotions are going to spill out, and they're embarrassed by that when it does. People tell me that they have trouble keeping track of their belongings, that they suddenly find themselves sighing out loud when they didn't even know that they were doing it. People say that they're having fear and anxiety come out over things that normally they wouldn't even notice. Some people talk about having nightmares, night terrors, things that disrupt their sleep and become very disturbing to them. Some people will talk about having great fear about the future, where normally they live happily in each day. Sometimes people will reluctantly tell me that they feel that they have been visited by a loved one who has died, and they don't know whether to consider that a delusion or whether to consider that an act of love and care by the person who has died. So I'm here to tell you that that's a common experience for people. I don't know that it's necessary to put a label on it in order to accept that that frequently happens. People tell me that they're beset by guilt and regret that they can't get beyond. Either they didn't do enough for their loved one, they missed the signs, they left in an angry way at their last contact. And those things can become truly troubling. I think it's important to know that that frequently happens, and it's also important to know that the key to dealing with that is to find trusted people to share that with, to listen to their reassurance, to be able to understand that we all didn't do enough, wish that we hadn't done some of the things that we did do, but that doesn't characterize the value of the relationship, and that doesn't take away your ability to grieve with an easy heart. Under any other circumstances, you'd really start to fear that you were going crazy, but these things happen in grieving. Grieving isn't permanent, and gradually we work our way back to more of a feeling of normalcy. I have something special to say about thoughts of suicide and self-harm and despair that can come with grief. We can say that those are normal in a way, because it is the case that people have fleeting thoughts of suicide while they're grieving. But if they are at all repetitive, if they are at all persistent, if they are at all increasing, it only makes sense to get a mental health professional involved so that you can have their help and their professional judgment help you past those. You can look to local mental health resources. You can look first to your doctor. You can look to helplines that are available in most communities and nationally. But I would urge anybody who is struggling with that to take the chance to have someone else participate with you in giving you support and helping with the judgment about what sort of help would help. Grief presents a paradox. It gives you one of the biggest challenges you're ever going to have in your life, and it does it when you're not yourself. Just know that we survive, we come out older, wiser, stronger for having gone through it, and it doesn't last forever.